Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we are at Talladega Super Speedway, so we're just going to focus on the best qualifying method because there's no way to predict what's going to happen in the race. So starting up front, having that track position and a good pit stall is going to be very crucial to try to avoid the accidents that could happen and hopefully bring you guys some success with your results. Few things that we're going to go over here. Try to give you as much information as possible. Again, anytime you're getting up to speed, you want to stay away from the outside wall. As we've discussed in previous super speedway videos, the aero drag slows you down about 2 or 3 miles an hour and really hurts your lap. As you can see coming through the tri-oval, trying to be incredibly smooth with the wheel. I don't particularly like holding the wheel or holding the car all the way along the top seam because I feel like I have to use more wheel input, which scrubs speed. So I like kind of floating to the bottom of the tri-oval, holding the wheel in one position and keeping it as smooth as humanly possible. This run here is in fifth gear. Okay, as you can see on the left side of the screen, the laps that I hit, the 53.22s, were in fifth gear. The lap that I hit, the 53.23, was in fourth gear. And I'm going to show you why I think fifth gear is better once we complete the second lap. I'll do the in-car of this first lap here on this first run because it's the fastest one. That way you guys can get the perspective from the in-car. Just know that the third run that I did was fifth gear, more or less just to show the consistency of fifth gear. The runs that I did in the session before I recorded this, I tried a bunch of different lines in both fourth and fifth gear, and fifth gear was significantly faster each time by about 100th. And when you're qualifying at a super speedway, every 100th matters, every 1,000th matters. So this is what I found to be the fastest method, and that's why I'm going to show it to you with the in-car in fifth gear later on in the video. What I've noticed with fourth gear in particular, I think it's turning just a little too much RPM, and it's robbing you of that straightaway speed, especially at the end of this long straightaway. I have a camera set up that I'm going to show you the difference in speed going down the back straightaway, and it's kind of crazy to look at. Some of you might find it very, very fascinating, but the difference is I can't even judge it on car lengths because I was doing it in super slow motion, but I'll show you the reference points that I was using after this lap is complete. So again, this is fourth gear. This whole run, you can see the wheel input. I just gradually turn it and I let the car follow the banking of the tri-oval. Again, the more wheel input you have, the slower you're going to go because you're scrubbing speed, right? The more those front tires are turned, the more speed you're scrubbing. So it's really important to be as smooth as possible, keep as little wheel input in it as you can so that you can make the most speed. As you can see going on the back straightaway, just hitting 180 miles an hour much later in fourth gear than we are in fifth gear, and it just doesn't make up the time through the corners having that higher RPM. It is worth noting that cutting the apron I find to be slower by a little bit. You just have to turn the wheel so much to keep it on the apron that you scrub speed and you hit the. I was hitting the line at about 177 to 178 miles an hour, as opposed to the 179 that you see now. Real quick, I just want to show you guys what I'm talking about here. We're going to go to the back straightaway, and this here is in fifth gear. Okay, now look at where we're hitting 108. It's going to flutter here, right? So this is 180 miles an hour solid, and you can see that we're under the money line symbol, more so under the lion. Now, again, this is fifth gear. Watch the difference of where we hit 180 miles an hour in fourth gear. Oops. Ready? That's already a significant difference. We're under the John Deere sign, and you can just see the edge of the money line sign on the right side of the screen. That's the difference between fourth gear and fifth gear. This is 180 miles an hour solid. You can see it flicker here. We're just on the edge of 180. Now we're 180 miles an hour solid. We're at the end of the John Deere sign, and you can't even see the Money Lion sign anymore. That's the difference between fourth and fifth gear, and that's why I think fifth gear is better to qualify in. Okay, so I'm going to rewind this, and I'm going to start right from the pit so you guys can see the launch, see what I'm doing, and try to get a perspective for what you want to aim for when you go to make your qualifying lap. Okay, guys. Hopefully that'll help you guys set a pole time around Talladega in your qualifying sessions. Again, track position is very important here. Having a pit stall towards the front, especially when you're pitting under yellow, is huge, especially with the end of pit road being right there where the first pit stall ends. Just not a whole lot to go through and race with this being a super speedway package. A lot of it comes down to luck. One thing to note, try your best not to spin your tires on the launch for your qualifying lap. That way you can get the best launch possible to start building speed as fast as you can. And again, you can run wide open around the apron. There's no concerns about it. Again, just trying to set the best qualifying time you can. So hopefully you can start up front and control the race and stay out of trouble. Okay, guys, that'll do it for this week's video. If you find that this video was helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, concerns, or thoughts about qualifying or the racing here in general, please leave a comment down below and we will do our best to respond to you as soon as we can. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that way you can see these videos every Monday as soon as they're posted. Okay, best of luck this week and we'll see you out on the track.